Thanks. I'd like to say I was sitting around a campfire with some friends, and I was thinking to myself, and I thought, there's something different about this festival. There's no track round it with four-wheel drive driving round it and people in black suits threatening us and fumes travelling over the site. Looking around it today, I think it would be a major engineering feat to actually try and impose that. But of course we're in a different country now. We're in Wales. And maybe they don't need terrorist registration in Wales. So, and of course in Wales we have, or the Welsh have their own parliament, the Welsh Parliament, the Welsh Assembly. So I think that maybe we have some things to thank the Welsh Assembly for in their different regulations, and hopefully it will go on in a sense of trust. I'm hoping the directors are going to be very friendly and invite members of the Welsh Parliament to the Green Gathering as the way of the future, and keep us protected in their very Welsh and very magical way.
Thank you. Any more questions? Hands up, please. Any people who'd like to speak? And John or Colin will get round to you. Any more questions? I see we were talking a moment ago about the charity that we've set up. Chloe, would you just like to step forward? Chloe Wilson is one of the trustees of the new Green Gathering charity, along with Jerry and Steve Muggs. Just for those who don't know Chloe, Chloe is one of our new trustees to help you take the charity on to new places.
Chloe, can you tell us really quickly about the new charity, its aims, objectives, where it's focusing?
They are extremely similar aims and objectives to Sunrise Community One, and it's basically about green education and events. And I think they're purposely very broad-ranging, but yes, I mean the focus is on green education and events. And that's stage one, and I mentioned earlier on about the possibilities of stage two, of sort of formalising a relationship between the Big Green Gathering Company Limited. Yes, of course, yeah. I mean, it's already, I guess, a public document on the Charities Commission website, or maybe it takes a few weeks to work its way through the system. But yeah, we do have a company number again.
Hello, I just wanted to say thank you for this festival. It is absolutely beautiful. It's a beautiful site. I've heard that the land might be being sold. Is that true? And if it is being sold, will you be moving to somewhere else as beautiful? But my question was about access and mobility on this site and at Sunrise and other festivals. I see there's a Gamma area here, and they've made arrangements for us to stay with them, but in the end we've stayed with Small World as it's easier for me. But I note that the people that normally help with Gamma, who have a lot of experience, aren't here. And I wanted to know why. Why is it that we've got people who have no experience at all? I've seen stewards going in to use the disabled toilets, for example, without anyone stopping them and explaining to them that the disabled people can't walk around site to go and find another loo. But so just because the non-disabled toilets were too full, shouldn't be an excuse for allowing people to use the disabled toilet and making it impossible for disabled people to use it. So little things like that really, really are important, and I feel that Gamma should be supporting disabled people a lot more. And there are people who have enormous wealth of experience who should be here and aren't here. And why is that?
I'll hand over to Joss, but I mean, I think we have to say that's probably the same in every area, including the number of people coming here, the number of people working on. There are not enough people of us doing this, and I think what Joss maybe will, Joss Colzo, who's the Gamma Zone coordinator, who's been doing amazing work on extremely limited resources. But we have a Gamma area here.
Yeah, just every festival is a learning experience, is building up and getting feedback and getting support for the future. And every festival we do is a learning in terms of also educating the public towards not going into the toilets if they really don't need to use that specific toilet, etc. So we'll just keep getting the feedback, communicating, talking about it, and working through any problems to get to a point where, continuous improvement. And we've got the deaf, we've got Carolyn this year, which is making a huge difference for the hearing impaired, and every year we're going to keep pushing and pushing, and working with festival organisers and festival visitors to make it accessible to everybody.
Great, thank you.
Can I just say about the disabled aspect as well? I mean, it's actually one of the things I noticed. I went to, well, probably not the best place to mention it, but I went to Legoland with my child a couple of years ago for his birthday. And I did notice that in mainstream society, the accessibility issues are taken very seriously. I mean, it's just done as a matter of fact. Everything had disabled access wherever it could. There wasn't any doubt to it. And I still think we do it a bit as a sideline in festivals. It's a bit of a side thing that we don't fully take responsibility for to this day. I mean, both the Green Gathering and Sunrise do make a lot of effort in those areas, through Gamma, through Joss's work and with Penny and Nikki in the past, there's been, we've taken, I think, great steps forward in accessibility provision. But, we need to improve. And there is challenges of being in the green field, and there's challenges also, I think, of resources that maybe we need to address, that we're not resourcing disabled aspects properly, and maybe we just need to take it more seriously. If mainstream society takes it seriously, and we're trying to present this alternative paradigm of what society is capable of, and yet we can't learn from the best bits of the society there, then, what we like. So we'll keep trying harder, and hopefully make a better experience for them.
Okay, now the quick few questions. Let's get a quick few.
Okay,
Well, project or...
Okay, projecting is what you were saying about how people here react to disabled people. You're standing at the back with no seat and quite a brightly coloured crutch, and watching everybody clap. How wonderful it was we have Gamma here while they sit in their seats next to the disabled person. So, great strides, but absolutely nowhere yet close on that issue, and huge amounts of learning needs to be done. Social justice, fantastic, but it starts with those people who are here, and not going, yay, Gamma area, we'll let them stand.
Yeah. Our point as well wasn't about the strides that Gamma have made are absolutely fantastic. It's absolutely brilliant. But it is about that experience of working with disabled people. So we were just surprised to find some lovely, lovely people helping on Gamma, but without the experience. When there are other people that we know, that were here that ran Gamma before, who aren't here, and it's kind of like, that was the question, where have the ones who got that experience disappeared to? Well, I can see Penny is here, so, yeah.
Great, thank you.
It's just that I know that in the contract Gamma's had with festivals, Sunrise, Big Green, us always stressed that access is a festival-wide matter. And I'm very disappointed that once again, venues like Triban, Floating Low, it's all low benches, cushions everywhere. Now, Stevie T, who died last year, his cafes always had a mixture of seats, just because that's what he happened to have, and it worked brilliantly. all people need to do is just get some cheap garden chairs or folding directors' chairs and make sure that they're available to the people who need them. Because a lot of people with disabilities is not very obvious. They have problems with balance, with stamina, and simply just carrying a cup from a counter to where they're sitting. So it should be part of the contract that nobody runs a venue at a festival unless they can provide at least that minimum requirement.
It's not just nice, it's legally required. So that would be nice to see.
Comment at the back and then the gentleman over there in the straw hat.
As a more recent user at Galway, I've been to Glastonbury's Sunrise Secret Garden Party in here, and I've had so much help here. People have been wonderful, and I haven't had to fight my way into horrible disabled toilets as I did in most of the other sites. So I really would like to say, yes, all those things need improving that people have mentioned, and I'm sure they will be. But I just want to say how kind and wonderful everybody's been, the people at welfare, just people around the site, and to thank them. And I got here on a ticket exchange, and I think that the best thing I can do to thank you is to pay for my tickets. That's what I'm going to do. Thanks.
Thank you very much. That is hugely appreciated.
Okay, just 6 little points, or about 6 anyway. We will pass on to Common Steward coordinators. We will pass on about the disabled toilets and make something done about that. Personal responsibility, if you're not disabled, don't use the disabled toilet, and a sign would helpfully weed out 99% of people that shouldn't be using them. 3 chairs to Shane. My wife here's got problems, and these chairs are the best on the site for people with mobility issues. And I have seen cafe owners bringing cups over to people on crutches, so it's happening in a thousand little ways all over the site, and I think let's pat ourselves on the back, those who are really working on this one, and move forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
So my question is about how do you see the festival becoming more green, because all these marquees and so on didn't come here by bicycles and so on, but I'm thinking of the toilets, for example. They were great and very clean, perhaps not enough, but are they being composted? So the question is, what are your plans to make the festival more green?
Well, certainly on the toilet side of it, the best option I'm aware of is Natural Events. They composting organisation, but they've been having licensing problems, I believe. And is that? Yeah. But a lot more. And if we have this site, if we can get a sort of a firm booking on this site for some time, then we can put in more infrastructure of that nature, and it would be wonderful to have rows of compost loos just set off in the woodlands quite a bit, and obviously the Small World event down in Kent, where Penny is, there's we can see that working. We can see it working in lots of other events, and once we get a more full-time thing here, then the loos are one obvious way. Getting people here, on public transport is another key way. It would be great to be able to contract out different smallholders to produce particular amounts of food for the gathering over the year, and be able to offer smallholders forward contracts to guarantee to buy their produce at this time of the year. I think would be another good way to try and support the smallholder movement, but also make sure that we get food that is supporting our movement, as opposed to Big Bad Babylon, which I run a cafe. At times when we run out of something, we just go to wherever is closest, and it doesn't feel good, and it may even be a few p cheaper, but that doesn't make it feel any better. So toilets, public transport, and where we source our food from. And also introduce Mike Grenville from the Transition Town movements. We're linking in well with Transition Town Chepstow. They've been extremely healthy. I mean, it's been really only the last 6 weeks, 2 months, but they've been very healthy helpful with sort of local infrastructure, and I hope we're going to link in with transition towns here